Hey, it's Lucas Catton here, and today I want to talk about the idea about limiting beliefs and how really they creep into our lives in many different areas. And a lot of times you might hear about limiting beliefs around larger topics or goals, like I want to be a billionaire or something, right? And the idea of, oh, that's preposterous. I could never be a billionaire. Well, that's a limiting belief in itself. But aside from some of those larger things, it's really also much more on the day-to-day stuff of uh, developing excuses or reasons why we can't do something or have something or you know be someone or go somewhere or participate in something or whatever. Right? We come up with these these things of I'm either on the degree of I'm not good enough or I'll never be that or something like that. That's much more obvious, as being a limiting belief. But sometimes it's really sneaky and it's explained in a way in reasons why, I currently uh, feel like I need to lose some weight, but I don't have time to go to the gym. And yes, there's no denying that I'm busy, but that's not the reason why I didn't get to the gym or haven't been in years. It's because I haven't gone, right? I haven't taken the action to go. I haven't decided that it's time to do something like that. I haven't removed my own potential limiting belief that I don't have time to do that. Um, and there's many different things that go along with that. I just use that because it comes up as an easy example that probably most people can relate to in some way or another. But there's so many of those things on a day-to-day basis that we then start to become excuses or ideas of why we can't do something, right? Or have something or go somewhere or be someone. When in reality, when we start to identify some of those things of I wish I would have, I wish I could have this car, let's say, right? If it's a superficial thing like that. And you go, well, how can you? Instead of going, I can't ever afford that, or there's no way I could drive that kind of thing, or usually it has something to do with cost. Maybe there is a way. Maybe there's something else in your life that is preventing it because you're not allowing yourself to excel at work. Maybe you've denied yourself the chance to start that business that you wanted to do on the side this whole time, or you've turned down other opportunities because you've convinced yourself you can't do it, or something else. Or maybe you can get creative and find something that's a used car, or lease it instead of buy it, or whatever. Right? My point is, it's turning away from I can't into I can, and removing the limiting beliefs of explaining away things that we're unhappy with for whatever reason, and deciding that we're going to change the way we're looking at it, change our filter, change our lens, what have you, and look at it as not something we can't do, but something we can do, something we can have, and put it into action because that's the next step. And I was talking with someone the other day about, well, what's stopping you now from doing this? And there was no answer. I said, okay, well, the next step is to actually take that next step. There is no other then what, right? It's either do or don't do. And if you don't do, the situation definitely will not change. But if you do take that next step, then A, you'll probably accomplish the thing that you were wanting to accomplish. B, you might not, but you'll learn more about it or about yourself. And C, you'll never regret not having done it, because just as I said in the very first video that I posted here about why I'm doing these videos, is because I would regret not doing it. And there's a bunch of other things that are go along with that, some books and some businesses and other things, but also about experiencing life and what other things that I want to have the richness and fullness of living and helping to create and co-create that life with my loved ones and business partners and day-to-day experiences, even by myself and through my own studies and hobbies and things like that, and really enjoy a full, rich experience of life, or at least to the best that I actually can, and removing those things that explain away why I'm not experiencing that. Because in the end, those things, even if it's not a specific thing, let's say I want, $10,000 in my bank account by the end of today. If If I don't have that, it doesn't mean that I'm somehow holding myself back necessarily, but at least taking away the idea that I couldn't do it, because maybe it could come in from some way, you know. The point is that, I know I'm beating this up right now, but that really is it. Because if you take a look at the things in your life that you might be unhappy about or unhappy with now, and go back and find out the stories that you're telling yourself. What are you telling yourself of why it is that way? Whose fault is it? Or what's the reason explaining it? Or why is someone else, the reason for your unhappiness, or whatever? When in actual fact, we do have the ability to make changes in those areas. And the first thing is to get rid of the idea that you can't. And that's all I got for today. Let's find those limiting beliefs. Let's blow them up. Let's get rid of them and start advancing in life. It's good. Thanks.